And I want to welcome you to the 9th Annual POW-MIA Remembrance Ceremony. This is very important. 9 years ago, I was reading the newspaper that morning, third Friday in September, nationally is when we honor our POWs and MIAs. And I just felt that nothing was going on in this area. So I decided to have a breakfast, and I got the encouragement of the Veterans of Foreign Wars, and we did it. And we must remember our POWs. The other part of it is the missing in action, and we're reaching out to the families and the mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters, and we're inviting them here, and we're honoring their son or daughter who is MIA.
I would like to explain to you the different items on the table here this morning. The table is round to show our everlasting concern for our missing. The tablecloth is white, symbolizing the purity of their motives when answering the call to duty. There's a single red rose in a vase that reminds us of the life of each of the missing and their loved ones and friends who keep the faith and that are looking for answers. The vase is tied with a red ribbon. It's the symbol of our determination to account for our missing. There's a slice of lemon on a bread plate. It's to remind us of the bitter fate of those captured in a foreign land. The pinch of salt symbolizes the tears endured by those missing and their families who seek answers. The Bible represents the strength gained through our faith to sustain those lost from our country, founded as one nation under God. The glasses on the table are inverted. It symbolizes their inability to be here with us this morning. The chairs around the table are empty, for they are missing. I ask now that you raise your water glass in a toast to honor America's missing in action and POWs, to the success of our efforts to account for our missing.
This is why we gather here on this Friday in September, to remember and to renew our commitment to never forget and to bring them home. And as Tony Hallis said earlier, not just today, not just on the third Friday in September, but we should be thinking about them every day. Ladies and gentlemen, the next thing I'd like to do is we have a presentation of medals. I'd like my colleague, Assemblyman Conaway, to join me if he would, and Tony Hallis, who's up here already. And I would like to call up Vincent Pale and Marguerite Pale. Mr. Pale is the present commander of the Cape May County ex-POWs and was held by the Germans during World War II at Stalag 17 for 14 months, and we of course want to thank Vincent for his service and sacrifices.
It's important, I imagine it's important to all the POWs to be honored this way. It was quite an honor to come up on that stage there, and that brought tears to my eyes to know that I lost a lot of my buddies, I lost my whole crew, I was the only one that survived, and I was just glad to be here.
We also have Alphonse Iannuzzi and Elvira. Mr. Iannuzzi will be receiving his New Jersey POW medal and was held by the Germans during World War II at Stalag 4A and 8A during 1944 and 45. And again, I want to thank Alphonse for his service and sacrifices for our country.
I never thought it would be this important. I'm very happy that they're recognizing us. But I want to thank everybody for being. You didn't realize how many Americans we really have. Strong country, and I hope it just keeps getting better and better.
And next, ladies and gentlemen, we have Fran Pliskin, who's the wife of Irving Pliskin, and Mrs. Pliskin will be accepting her late husband Irving's federal medals. Presentation of the federal medal. Second Lieutenant Irving Pliskin would be receiving the following medals posthumously: the Air Medal with 2 oak leaf clusters, the European, African, Middle Eastern Campaign Medal with 3 bronze service stars, Prisoner of War Medal, World War II Victory Medal, and the American Campaign Medal. And just as a footnote, I can remember Irving asking me to speak at his POW-MIA organization, and and I was honored at that time to do that. But I just know from working with him and watching his sincerity and his dedication, he loved his fellow POWs and he loved our country.
So we're here today to honor those who've given us so much, because it's the right thing to do, and because it helps us in some small way to give back to those who have given us so much.
Something that is very, very significant, and that's a presentation of a donation to the National League of Families of POWs and MIAs. And I'd like Ann Mills Griffin to join me, and also Karen McManus to please come up. And while they're coming up again, Ann is the sister of Commander James B. Mills, United States Navy, who shot down over North Vietnam, MIA, September 21st, 1966. In fact, in 4 more days, it will be 44 years that Commander Mills has been missing in action. And of course, Karen McManus, sister of the late Captain Kevin Joseph McManus, United States Air Force, prisoner of war from June 14, 1967 to February 18, 1973, and he was in the Hanoi Hilton. And if you can see it, if you can see it from out there, it's $10,000. This is all done by donations. And if you remember, last year we gave them $5,000. But this year, and I don't know, I think we kept it a secret. I don't know what she thought she was going to get, but I said to her there was going to be some big news, and the big news is that it's $10,000, and we are so happy and so pleased to be able to. Here's the real check. You know, I worked in a bank all my life, and they bounce when you drop them. So this is the
Thank you so much.
It helped funds, for instance, it's too many things to go into, but when you're a small nonprofit organization like the National League of Families, we were formed in 1970, and sometimes you face compassion fatigue or economic downturn like we're in right now. And to have a donation of this size and significance from caring people in this area just means the world to us.
Before we leave, when I was saying thank you, I had something to give to the 2 assemblymen who've been so instrumental in doing all this. And we developed a special 40th anniversary pin for the National League of POW-MIA Families. We were formed May 28, 1970. So we developed a 40th anniversary pin, very limited edition, and we want the 2 assemblymen to have them as a token of our appreciation. So, thank you.
So this has grown. It went from 90-some people 9 years ago to having 600 people today, and it's all because they want to honor our POWs and our MIAs.